Therefore, whenever there is a demand, that demand upon a given object in the instance of a perception, that demand is a projection, then suddenly you will become restless. Because with a desire, you cannot just be with yourself. Once the desire is there, you are uncomfortable. Why? It is a projection. Projection means what? You cannot be with yourself with a projection. But once the desire is fulfilled means what? Fulfilled means what? You have that object, there is a sense of minus in that object. Then you have to protect that. There is a projection. Therefore, I sense I am and this is mine. Aham buddhi and mama buddhi. This style of thinking leads to sorrow. Therefore, whenever, what we can do about it? What we can do about it? We have to do something about it. What at best we can do is, when there is that style of thinking, we have to know the structure of that thinking. In order to know the structure of that thinking, there is many methods. One method is, I have to observe myself. And I have to see the difference between I and me in myself. I would like to repeat this statement. I have to see the difference between I and me in myself. That means what? When you observe yourself, what you relate with as me is not I. Suppose I am sad. How do you know? The moment you recognize that sadness, which is a style of thinking. Sadness comes because you are resisting a fact and there is a thought build up. That is called sadness. Or you are demanding something upon something which is against a fact. It's very simple. Either there is going to be a demand and that demand is incongruent with a fact. Is that pronunciation right? Incongruent? How do you pronounce it? Incongruent. So that demand is incongruent with the fact. It is raining. If I want to go out, can you wish the rain away? Then you start complaining. Whenever I want to walk out, then there is going to be rain. Yesterday it was raining and today, see, it was raining, you started complaining. That means what? You are resisting a fact. What best you can do? Take an umbrella and walk out and do whatever you want to do. So reaction and action both are there. A reaction is something which you do. But an action is something which happens to you. When there is a reaction, you are not there. You are angry. It is not that, oh, let me go and become angry with that person or show my anger with that person. You are not decided it. Anger happens. When you are angry, you are not consulted. You are not consulted. There should be some consultation. One who is becoming angry and one who is making the decision. If you make a decision and be angry, you are just feigning anger. You are not angry. So sadness also is a happening. It is not that out of my own free will, I would like to be sad, let me be sad. Like love. I told this, somebody goes and tells this person, I love you from 5 o'clock tomorrow onwards. Can you say that? Why? Love is not an action. Now I am very busy. So the project is going on. Let me finish this project. Then I started loving you. Then I don't have time now.
Did you mean action is something you do and reaction is something that happens to you?
Yes. Action is something which you do. Because there is a free will. There is a choice. A reaction is not a choice. So too, sorrow is a style of thinking wherein you are not there. You are unaware. Sadness is a happening, it's not an action. Sadness is also a happening, it's not an action. It's not out of choice you become sad. It just happens. Anger happens. Competitiveness happens. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all this. I don't want to translate everything in English. Leave it alone. That I have to talk something else. So all these emotions are something happened to us. These are all being brought under the head of reaction because I do not have a choice to be sad. It is not. Therefore people will say, don't be sad, as if I have chosen to be sad. When somebody says, oh please don't be sad, it's as if I have chosen to be sad. And I can choose to be I can choose not to be sad. It looks as though people are giving advice, don't be sad. Therefore, this sadness is part of me. In that sadness, what has happened? What has gone into it? Sadness is when you resist a fact. That resistance is in the form of a thinking, then you become sad. Or you have a demand upon something wherein that demand is incongruent with the fact. That's why if it is natural to have a demand. But what we demand, if it is for our need, and what we can do, we can do. What I can change, I can change. What I cannot change, I should know that I cannot change. Therefore, if you are trying to change something which you cannot change, that means what? That is what we call resistance. And the resistance appears in the form of a thought, not in the form of a thought. It's a style of thinking. You resist, then there is a thought build-up. With that thought build-up, there is going to be sadness, confusion. Therefore, is it part of me or I? When I observe this I, there are two things. Something is not something. Something is me. Whatever I become aware is me. Sadness is a style of thinking which is my thinking. So it is part of me, not I. And not only that, that is not my nature. Therefore, sadness is, that's a valid statement. Sadness is, but I am not sad. When you say I am sad, I am identifying with that sadness which has been created by a style of thinking. It is me, but not I. Sadness is an emotion. An emotion, since you are becoming aware of that emotion, means what? That style of thinking in the form of an emotion called sadness, it is something which is aware by me, and that aware sadness is not the awarer I. This is the distinction. The aware sadness, which is in the form of a thinking, is distinct from the awarer I. Therefore, what right we have got to say I am sad at the moment of sadness which has been created by you with a style of thinking which is born either out of resistance or demand, then you are awareing it, you are experiencing it. Therefore, there is a difference between I and me. And that difference needs to be seen.